happy Fun Fold Friday, everyone. I'm so thankful that you all showed up this morning to participate with me while I'm creating this Fun Fold with you. All of the measurements will be on my blog later today, so don't worry about that. And let's see, today I'm going to be making a pop-out Z-fold. Now, I learned how to make this over on Lisa's Stamp Studio, Lisa Curcio. She's an amazing demonstrator, and she had a really great card that she made using this fold, and so I've taken it, but I'm using a different suite. She used the ice cream. I'm using the Sand and Sea. The sea friends are like seashells. There we go. Anyways, so I'm Kristina, Creating with Kristina, and I just love helping card makers by sharing art design tips in my card making tutorials. So let's go on and get started. I'm going to switch over here. Now, before I actually get started though, I want to remind you all that I have two card classes going on right now. I have the Turtle Friends and I have the Sweet Strawberry. Now, I'm also offering a free stamp set. If you purchase both of these card kit option ones, I am giving you this free Prince and Princess stamp set. And all the information is over on my blog, creatingwithkristina.com. All right, let's go on and get started now. So like I said, I am making a fun fold card, and it's called the Z-Fold Pop-Out card, or Pop-Out Z-Fold. And so I want to show this to you. Here it is. I made this one earlier so I'd know how to make everything. I'm going to show you the sky view, or the bird's eye view. All right, so there's two Z's, and they're connected together, and then they just pop out. So when you display it with on the table or on the mantle, it pops out like that. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so it's a pretty simple card to make, but you do need some instructions, some measurements. That's what I'm trying to say. And like I said, these measurements are going to be over on my blog. Oh, wow. We've got all kinds of people here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. I've got Kim and Stephanie and Mima and Linda and Jean. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. All right. So the first piece is a traditional 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score that in the middle at 4 1/4, but then we're going to fold that piece in half at 2 1/8. Okay, so that is the first piece of our card. The second piece of our card is a piece of cardstock that is cut at 3 inches by 11. And you're going to score it at 4 1/4, and then again at 8.5. Okay, so those are our two pieces. Like I said, that's going to be over on my blog later today. Now, it says, hi, Janet says, hi, Kristina, I've only got about 10 minutes to watch. Oh, well, you can always watch it on the replay, Janet. All right, so like I said, I am using the Sand and Sea. Friendships are like seashells. And I just wanted to show you this paper. This paper will no longer be available after June 30th, okay? We're having our last chance promotion right now. Now, this paper's not on sale. It is super popular. It's in low inventory. Hopefully, it has not sold out yet. This is until June 30th or while supplies last. So if you really like this paper, you need to get on over to the shop and get yourself some. It goes so awesome with the Sand and Seashell. Okay, let me say this correctly. Okay, Friends Are Like Seashells is the stamp set, and Seaside Seashells is the die. Okay, and then also there's, I'm not using this today, but there's also an embossing folder. Is that just, and the embossing folder matches up perfectly with the die cut. So you can cut it out and then run it through the embossing folder, and wow, so many great ideas with this set. So that's that. Let's get started on making this card. So, and I have all my pieces already cut out to kind of save time this morning. Whee! Here we go. But I'm going to go through all the steps of putting this card together. So I have my cutting and embossing tool here. It's my Stampin' Trimmer. And this first base piece, remember this is 8.5 by 5.5. And we are just going to score that at 4 1/4. Okay. And then we're gonna fold this in half at 2 1/8. And I wanna double check my, measure twice, cut once. And yes, it is at 2 1/8, so there we go. And 1/8 is half of a fourth or half of a quarter, and it's just that little mark right there beside the 2, okay? There it is, and we're going to do it. So far we have this Z, okay? Now we're gonna put paper on that in just a minute. Let me put it over there while I score the other piece while I have this out. And this piece, again, 3 inches by 11, we're gonna score it 4 1/4, and then again at 8 1/2. So let's put it in, 4 1/4, and then 8 1/2. Now what I love about our trimmer, check that out. So you all who need this goes all the way to 17 inches. So there is plenty of room. And then it goes all the way down to 12 inches. So huge trimmer here. Love it. 8 1/2. There it is. And score. There we go. Put that away. Don't need that anymore. Okay. Now that we have these two pieces all finished, we are ready to decorate. The first thing we're going to do is put this piece of DSP on. Now these DSP pieces, boy, that's a hard one to say. Hey, thanks Debbie for sharing. I really appreciate that. You all share with your crafty friends. Let's get lots of people on here making these really fun cards. All right, I need some adhesive, of course. And don't you just love these big seashells? Actually, the dies cut these seashells out too. That's another reason you would want this paper, is to have all these options. Like I said, this paper is only available until June 30th. The stamps and die and embossing folder, those are in the catalog. They continued over, they carried over. So they'll be available all year long, but this paper is being discontinued. All right, now that I have that piece on, we want to stop and put our second Z-fold in here, okay? And we are going to fold it back. Let's see, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, fold it back this way and then fold this forward, okay? So this piece, okay, let me get it where you can see it. This piece here is going to be attached to the card, and this piece here is where we put our decorative front panel, all right? And we are going to attach that to this section of the half. Now, we do not want to go, when we're putting our adhesive on, do not get adhesive over here or this piece is not going to move, okay? We only want adhesive right here, okay? And so you can either take your fingers and kind of mark it so you know where not to go over, or you can get particular and put that on there, fold that back, put that on there, flip it over, okay? And then take a pencil. And of course, I love these Bic mechanical pencils. They have this really soft lead, and you can just put a little mark there so you know not to have your adhesive go over that part. Now, this is a interactive card. People will be opening it and closing it and opening it and closing it. So I strongly suggest that you use liquid glue. This is our strongest adhesive. We also have Stamp and Seal Plus. That is a very strong adhesive, or tear and tape. Those three options will work well, but I just like liquid glue because it is super fast and super easy. Once again, let's make sure I don't put the adhesive on the wrong side. Okay, there we go. And we're just gonna put that there. All right. Close that up, and now just attach that. Whoops. Okay, we want to make sure we're putting it on the right piece. Woo, I have my card upside down. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, glue once. Okay, we want it on the inside section right there. So I'm going to fold that back so I don't accidentally get adhesive on it. And we're going to put that right there. Okay. And hold it for a sec. Ooh, Mima, you're talking. Oh, Evelyn, courtesy of the Air Force, we lived in, oh my gosh, Wiesbaden, Mima. Mima, you and I have so much in common. My baby brother was born in Wiesbaden in 1973. He even has a dual membership. Now, what is it called when you belong to two countries? Holy cow, I've totally drawn a blank. Oh, well, you guys can help me. What's that? To dual nationality. There we go. My baby brother has dual nationality. He also he travels a lot, and he has to be very careful to look his best when he goes through the Canadian airport, because he's born in Germany, and it says that on his passport, and they look at him funny when he's hungover trying to get into America. So he has gotten pulled aside a couple of times at the airport screening before coming back into the States. So be careful if you have a foreign birth coming into America and you're not looking your best. It does, he didn't get in, it was just kind of like, heads up, whoa, they're serious about not letting people into countries that aren't supposed to be there. Okay, now, I'm talking about my brother and not talking about my card. I apologize. Here we go. Thanks, Stephanie. That's right, dual citizenship. So this piece of the Z is glued on here. We want to cover that up so it looks pretty. So we have a piece of DSP here, and this DSP is cut just a tad bit smaller than the section. Let me get that dimension. Like I said, all these are going to be on the blog later today, but this is 2 inches by 5 3/8. Okay, 2 inches. Remember, this was scored at 2 1/8. This is 2. So, I mean, it's just a scant bit smaller. Now, we have this section, but this is different. So, it's going to be like that. Let's put a piece of DSP here also, and we're just going to use the same one. Put it right there. There we go. Okay, so far we have all of that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, we're continuing on. The next piece of DSP is right here, and we're going to match it with this back here. So we're just using the seashell one again. And turn it. And don't you love that sand on the back? That's really fun. I love it. Oh, and those who are asking me what color my cardstock is, this is Sahara sand. How appropriate for a seashell card. There we go. That's just going to go right there. All right. Now we have almost done. We've got a couple more pieces we want to cover up. So we're actually going to put a panel here with, I'm going to decorate it. But before we put that panel on, I'm going to put a little paper back here. I can't remember which one it was. I've got all kinds of papers here. All right. Yes, I believe it's the pink seashell one. Does that measure up right? Yes, it does. Okay, that definitely went there. Of course, you could use the back side too, because you're going to cover a lot of it up with the panel. But yeah. I'm just trying to remember, because then we're going to put a piece here and a piece here. So yeah, this is the seashell side. Do that. There we go. Okay, and then inside here, I've got 2 more pieces. Now this piece is a little smaller than these pieces, and these pieces are cut at, okay, this one is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, and I'm going to turn this over so I have this pretty watercolor on the back here showing. And I'm going to put water down, blue down, and pink up. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now this one is smaller because it is on this half a piece here. And this one is at, where is it? 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. 2 1/8. Okay, so this is this fold from here to here. Whoops, get out of my name. Here to here was 2 1/8, and then this piece is 2. So this is 2 1/8, and it's going to go right there. Okay. There we go. And blue on the bottom, pink on the top. And of course, it doesn't matter. It's your design. You put your designer paper how you like it. Okay, so now we have all the designer paper on here. Fun. Okay, all we have to do left now is put our we're gonna have white here so we can sign our name, okay? And that's gonna be covered up. So when they open it up, there's where you write your greeting. And then we're also going to have a panel on the front right here, all right? So our panel piece, this is our front piece, so let's go ahead and decorate that. Let me get this out of the way. And I need a stamping pad. When you are working with photopolymer stamps, here's another thing that you need to know. The clear stamps, they need a foam surface to stamp on. If I stamp it on this hard surface, any bumps, grooves, uneven surface is going to prevent this stamp from stamping well, okay? So that's why we want a nice firm foam surface here. You can just get the craft foam at the craft store, or the piercing pad that we sell is a really great piece to use. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get some ink. I'm trying, what? I can't talk and stamp at the same time. All right, here we go. This is just speckled, just little spots, and it's kind of like sand. So I'm just lightly going to stamp all over the front. I'm going to kind of twist it in different directions. There we go. And there's some. Turn this way, and then put one right in there. And one right there. I think that's good. Maybe one down here. Okay. All right, that's enough sand. The next thing we want is our sentiment. I should have done the sentiment first because I really don't want my sand in the sentiment, but that's okay. And ink that up. And then we're just going to put down in the bottom corner, because I'm going to do a seashell cluster up here in the corner. Okay, happy birthday to my beautiful friend. Isn't that a sweet sentiment? I love that. All right. And while I have my ink out, let's go ahead and do the inside sentiment. Where's that? Here it is. This piece here. And this one says, "You are unique and completely amazing." Isn't that sweet? I love that. And I'm just going to put this here in the corner. And that'll give me plenty of room to write a message and sign my name. Okay. Now we're done with our ink, so let me put all that away. Put this up in the corner so it's out of the way. There we go. Put this away and bring this back down. Now, I have my crumb cake here. So this card base was done in Sahara sand. I'm using crumb cake. It's a little darker. And soft saffron, and that's one of the colors of the seashells in the paper. I just love Stampin' Up! And how they color coordinate everything. So, you know, you can get your designer paper and then look and see, we list the colors that are in the designer paper. So you can go get those ink pads, those color markers, that color cardstock. So Saffron, Flirty Flamingo, the blue, the Sahara sand, and the crumb cake are all in this paper here. All right, and then this one is going to go right on top like that. And I just cut all these down just a little bit each time. So the first one, the crumb cake, is at 2 3/4 by 4. So saffron is 2 5/8, which is just an 1/8 smaller than the crumb cake. And then finally the white is at 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. So, and like all these measurements will be over on my blog later today, so you don't have to worry about writing all that down. There we go. All right, so we now have our base. The next thing I want to do is put some embellishment, and in this case I'm going to be using string or twine. So this is our natural twine, and I'm using the end of it. I've got plenty there, so let's hold it. Come here. And I'm going to wrap it twice. I think I'll have enough to still do a bow. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, and remember, whenever you're tying a bow or a knot, if you need an extra finger to hold that, get yourself some clamping tweezers. And what I mean by that are these little guys, self-clamping tweezers. They stay shut and you squeeze them to open them. And just put that right there to hold your tie. And then just, whee. Come on. Oh, and I can't get that. Sometimes you need a pair of tweezers. There we go. And then pull those things out. And now hold the loops while you pull the strings back through so the loops don't twist. Okay. And then this one. Okay. So you're getting all kinds of tips today, aren't you? Okay, my bow is over here on the right, but that's where I want to put my seashell cluster. So I'm going to move it over. And the way to do that is kind of get your hands a little moist and slide it. So just kind of, yeah, get it to where your fingers will hold on to that twine. And there we go. Now our bow is moved over. And I want that about right there. Got that. Now, here are my seashells. So I did the sand dollar and the starfish and this little scallop. I just used my blends. This is the crumb cake blends. This is the balmy blue blend. And this is the flirty flamingo blends. And I stamped them in the crumb cake also. So put those there. I want my sand dollar up on dimensionals. So let me get my dimensionals out. And I'm going to go across the strings, so, or the twine. So let's see, let's do it that way. Yeah, because I'm going to put the starfish in the other. No, I think I like it that way. Oh gosh, that's crazy. I am the worst for making decisions. I was just discussing that with someone the other day. It's like, what is one of my worst things? Is that I can't make decisions. It's so hard for me. I will waste so much time just going, oh, maybe this, maybe that. All right, here we go. And then this one is on dimensionals too, but because I'm only putting them on these two arms of the starfish, I'm going to use the mini dimensionals. If you don't have mini dimensionals, just cut your big ones in half. Okay, and there we go. There's that one and that one. And then the little scallop seashell, I'm just going to adhere that to the base. I'm not going to pop it up. All right, so there is my starfish right there. And then this little guy just needs a little adhesive on the back. And tuck that right under there. Oh yeah, we have a cute little cluster of seashells. Isn't that cute? All right, we are almost done. Let's do this. Let's put this on here. And like I said, this is an interactive card, so you are definitely going to want to use glue or some very strong adhesive right here. And we want to make sure that we don't get adhesive here, okay? So hold it still, put it where you want it, and then hold it very still, open it up, okay? And take your pencil and once again, make this little mark here so you don't go past where you want it, okay? And get your glue out. And because I'm using a twine, it's not very, it's gonna lie flat. And we also have 3 layers of cardstock. I could have used dimensionals, that would have worked also, but okay, now let me turn it back over so I make sure that I'm attaching this correctly. You don't want to attach it upside down. There we go. Okay, and like, remember what I said about this one piece of DSP? Just a wee bit of it is showing, so it really didn't matter which side I used. There we go, and just hold that for a sec. Let that glue catch that. Meemaw says, Kristina, I've learned to do the very first thing that I think of, and if it doesn't work, it's a happy mistake. Oh, amen to that, Meemaw. Yes, I am learning that. That is for sure. Just go with it. Don't think about it too much. There's a t-shirt out there, you guys. I want to get it. It says, just a minute. Hold on. Let me overthink this. Okay, there we go. Got that. And last but not least, our inside sentiment. And there we go. We want to make sure that does not show And it shouldn't. I mean, that's covering up all of that. So, whoops, don't want to put it on upside down. So come in here and give yourself a little border. Okay, so it's kind of even on those 3 sides. And voila, we did it. So I'm calling this the pop-out Z-fold. Okay, so it's a double Z-fold. I should call it a pop-out double Z. It almost could be a W or an M. I don't know, y'all. But I learned how to do this with Lisa Curcio over on Lisa's Stamp Studio. So she has a video also making it if you want to watch her. And the directions and measurements will be over on my blog later today. You guys, thanks so much for watching me this morning. And you all have a blessed weekend. And I will catch you back here Monday for another card tutorial. Don't forget the card class, 2 card classes, free stamp set, and the last chance product sale. Bye-bye.